Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening to episode 39 of the DMC, Mr. Letteroff, live chat. I thought about Danger Mouse then, but no, it's the Die Custom Modelers Community, the DMC. Welcome along. Good evening to Kev in the chat. Good evening, Jim in the chat. And good evening, Ian in the chat. And Mix in the chat as well. We're off to a flying start. Good evening, boys, the irregulars. And a good evening to my good friends and cohorts. And Mr. Martin there. Good evening, Martin.
Evening, boys and girls.
It's going well, isn't it? It's going well, yeah. Too much coffee. Too much toast. Laz from Laszlo. Good evening, Laz. How are you, buddy?
Good evening, everyone.
And Luke from, let me just check this week. Scale Customs we are this week, yes.
Evening, guys.
Good evening. Make sure, please, that you visit each of their channels and subscribe to them. It would be much appreciated. So, it's been a fortnight. What we're going to do this week? Well, we're going to do our round robin of what we've been up to this week. A bit of feedback from a visit that myself, Martin, Luke, and Lee went to, which is Dagfield's auction site. What's coming up over the next month or so? And good evening to Laz's nephew. I believe that's Eva. Good evening. Hello.
Yeah, I'm okay. He's watching.
Good to hear from you. Good to see you.
He said that I've been talking to a man with the glasses in a blue shirt. That was you. He watched that. Yes.
So yeah, a few donations that we've had between us. We're going to touch on for the friends of the mods that have joined us from the plastic kit build. I've been donated some plastic kits, and I'll show you them later on. So, without further ado, let's make headway while the sun shines. Still shining over here in Swad. Mr. Martin Derser, what have you been up to this week, bud?
Yeah, I've been working on 2 Ford Escort vans, corgis, for a chap who's volunteers for the museum in Merseyside, Museum of Transport in Merseyside. So he wants one in the champagne metallic gold and one in the light sky blue metallic, which the one's painted now, and the other one I had a lot of trouble with because the casting was shocking. But that'll be painted colour going on tomorrow for that one. Been working on a Tonka Toys Mustang, small Mustang. That's in paint now, and I'm using a different sort of paint I've never used before, and it's out of a rattle can, but it's called 2 colours metallic. It's yellow and green, so it's come out okay. A bit sparkly, but it might dull down a bit when I put some lacquer on it tomorrow. That's all going. I've retro brighted the wheels on that, so they're nice and white now. So that's in the go. And the one I was starting on yesterday had a total disaster today. After I'd cleaned it, caustic soda'd it, and I was wire brushing it, and it just snapped in half. It came adrift from the 2 top window roof pillars, come apart, and the back of the one sill from the back end came apart, and the other one from the front end came apart. So I've been trying to juggle that round and get it to fit and glue it back together. I was in a bit of a panic mode. I had to go and have a big fat cigar before I started.
That was a 3-round toaster, that one was.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was gutted. Absolutely gutted. Yeah, so that's die cast related. And I've been and got myself a compressor for doing the second part of the jigsaw for doing the powder coating. Luke's already gifted me a nice sandblaster, so thanks very much for that, Luke. And I've went and got a compressor, a 100-litre compressor. I was looking on Facebook Marketplace, and it just so happened one popped up about 4 or 5 miles away from me. A guy lives on a narrowboat, and the compressor was too big for his generator. he was dragging his generator down. So he's got a small one, and he was flogging that. So I got that cheap. It was fun getting in the back of my car, though.
Yeah.
I tell you, it was fun. But we got it home, we got it in, and yeah,
So
so we're doing that.
Stamp
So
Bastard is now open for business.
We're all good. Well, it will when I get some. I need some airline.
That's
and
all
then,
about
it, mate. I'll bring it with me on Sunday next week.
It's all
Right.
about the giving
Good man.
this channel. Bless them.
Good man.
Good stuff, my friend.
Yeah, so that's me really. That's what I've been up to this week.
Laz, good to see you, my friend.
Good evening, everyone. I have completed this one.
It's
this
nice,
week.
that, man.
I like
I
the
do
logo.
like it.
Yeah,
There's something about that
It-
Texaco logo that looks really.
Yes, I wanted to change it.
Does it
And
look back to front on screen?
Yeah, well, yeah.
oh yes, better.
Yeah.
That's it.
Russ is
So-
usually here
That's
to
it.
tell me to swap people's screens around.
So it's quite nice. Not too bad. I had a lot of trouble. It took me 3 months to complete it.
Oh,
I'm
it's
really
cool.
happy
It's
with
really
the
wheeler,
cabin.
yeah.
The trouble was the trailer. So, but this is what I completed. I put this video on yesterday, and I just looked at the Mercedes Matchbox Super King's Mercedes ambulance, the Binz ambulance, I think it is. I think that will be completed next week, and the Matchbox Ford Fairlane police car will be a different color. It's gonna be black and white like an old American police car instead of that blue one original, but the decals will be the same. So that will be completed, but that's not for the channel. That's because I've done that before. It's just and I've got the dumper as well, which I wanted to do shell colors, green and yellow, but the yellow doesn't work on the excuse me, the tipper bit. So I just find a very good Martin. We were talking about the gray color. I find a very good silverish gray, and the dark gray as well. So
Yeah.
I'm going to use, I think, the dark gray, and I have a lorry as well. You know, the major pack number 9 Matchbox, the tire with the tire sticker.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the silverish gray, the container. So I just started those. So yeah, that's me.
Brilliant, man.
Lukey boy.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, buddy.
I've been working on the polished steel Jaguar XJ 4.2. Now, I was hoping to get this finished today, but
Laz
unfortunately,
is going to be sick again in a minute.
I haven't managed to touch it today, which I'll explain why in a minute. So the interior runs right into the engine bay. So I have sprayed it green inside there. Hope it sprays it going. We're going to be fitting a battery, some spark plug leads and different things in there. Once we get round to it in the week, I'm going to be doing some wood effect on the dash. I've done the steering wheel.
Oh, nice.
Doing it there.
Yeah.
And that's come quite nice. The wheels are done. A lot of you seen this yesterday anyway, but just for those on YouTube that
Yeah,
haven't,
they look really nice.
Yeah.
These wheels.
No, you
Yeah.
show it.
one of
mate.
the wheels are printed.
Well, just remind us,
Yeah.
like, what scale were them wheels?
Well, the cars are 125 or 124, so I've just scaled them up. I think they're about 16, 17 mil the wheels are. Then obviously the tyres on top of them. I've got to spray the tyres yet. I haven't done them. So yeah, I'm hoping to get that done.
Is this a plastic kit? Sorry to asking.
No, it's die cast. It is. Like,
It's a die cut.
yeah, it's die cast. It's a nice model. I first seen this. JMO done one. And when I seen that model, I thought I've got to get myself one of them. And obviously, I'm just slowly getting through it. Kev from Kev's Banger Races supplied me the screen and rear bumpers for it.
Oh, good old Kev.
My head were broke, so I know Cheers for that, Kev. Spot on, mate.
Well done, Kev.
He broke his. He banged his Jag.
He banged lots of Jags.
He banged his Jag. His polysteel Jag. I tell you what, though, those polysteel Jags, the wheels are pretty realistic to the original.
I was in two minds, Martin, whether to keep them or not. But I thought I've got the printer, I might as well. And the wheels I've printed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a card on Google got the same wheels on it. It does look tidy. But you know what, I'll print them. I found the file for it, so why not? That's what it's there for, isn't it?
You're gonna keep the original wheels.
I'm keeping them. Yeah, I've still got them. Yeah,
we've still got them.
If you want them, Martin, you can have them. I'll never use them.
I'm going to say because they'll be handy. Yeah,
I'll
if you don't want them,
I'll
take them off your hands.
No,
yeah, can you make sure it's got good tread on the tires and pump them up for me? Yeah?
I think one's got a nail in. Yeah, you can't give that away today, can you?
You can't. As much as you know, you can't do enough for a good gaffer, they reckon. You know what I mean?
No.
So
the reason why I never been doing that today, I've been and bought a van, and I'm going to convert that into a camper van. I know it's not die-cast related, but I just thought I'd mention it.
Well, it is. We're gonna start a new scale called 1-to-1. You know what I mean? Just to cover your projects, really. Yeah.
So the point is, it's going to be a camper van on a budget. I'm going to see if I can do it for under 5k. I'm going to film it. It's going to be on YouTube. It won't be on the Diecast channel. I'll set another channel up. So, and I'm going to see how we get on with it. But I think it'll be quite surprised once it's done, because you think $5,000 for a camper van, but it will look really nice, and it'll be quite posh inside as well.
Quite posh.
Watch this space.
Come with the forerunner, the DMC RV. Well,
when you've worked out your channel name for it and you're going to kick it off, let us know, and then we can give you a bit of a nudge on our channels.
Like, it won't be for everyone's liking, you know, building a camper van, but it won't just be the build. Once it's built, I'll be doing days out on it as well, so you get to see everything, where I'm going, what I'm using, how it's all working. I think it's something a little bit different.
The thing is, with doing DIY, it ties in a lot with restoration, because that's where you learn your base skills from stuff you've done in the past. So yeah, I think people will gravitate towards it, mate. Like I say, full size models. Let's go for some full size models. Why not? We've gone down to from one extreme to the other. So I think it'd be really cool.
My brother, I've got a bit of helping, and my brotherly builds them, so I'll be cadging a lot of stuff.
Just as long as you don't park outside nicking my Wi-Fi signal, that's all I'm bothered about.
Well, I'm thinking of parking it outside yours and charging Martin Brent when he comes down. Say sleeping with you. He's safer in the van, apparently.
Yeah.
And you can slope it downhill. Good stuff.
So that's me. That's where I'm up to.
Just nip into the chat. If I haven't said so already, apologies. Good evening to Kev. Good evening to Jim. Good evening to Ian. Good evening to Mick. Good evening to Eva, which is actually Laz's nephew. We think we've got online. And well, if not, good evening to Laz's mum as well. Just to cover all bases.
Happy birthday, Laz's mum.
Thank you. Yeah.
I know it was last week, but
good evening, JMO. Pimp my diecast. Good to see you, buddy. And with Eva saying good night. I think whether that's Anyway, Jim. Oh, that's what the sneaky pick on YouTube, Luke. Does that make sense to you?
The Jag, yeah.
Right. That's the Jag,
Pimp my diecast. Guilty. Russ, Play Apps. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you, Russ. Welcome back, mate. Please, Russ, I'm relying on you week by week to telling me if the screens are the right way around. So if you can see everybody the right way around, we need a technical director. Kev, if anyone needs any spare parts, just ask. big shout out to Kev. Kev is very generous. He's been
Yeah,
generous
he is.
to all
Yeah,
of
you
us
do, mate.
with spare part. So thank you
Yeah.
for that offer, Kev. It's much appreciated, buddy.
Diecast breakers, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's the DMC
Yeah,
breakers, you know,
diecast breakers,
officially. Yeah. Ian saying evening play-ups. I've something's just been put up under your mum's account, Laz, and there is no way I'm even going to try and pronounce it.
I cannot see that.
Lots of European words that don't translate to Swad or South Derbyshire. Brian in search of the lost diecast is here. Good evening, Brian. Good to see you,
Brian.
best wishes to you. Everything. Hope everything's going well. Play up smiling, Russ smiling. Pete Beasley, evening, gents and ladies. Welcome. And play ups saying, "Hi, Ian." I think that's me caught up with everybody. Right. What have I been doing? I've done some diecast. I can't believe it. You're all sitting down and not shocked. But once many moons ago, I did a Captain Scarlet Special Patrol vehicle based on a recommendation of paint from Mr. Martindale, which was the I-Coat Tango Red, which is a gold metallic, red and gold metallic, and it came out beautifully. We then went to Stafford, and we started going to Stafford, and I came across a guy who was doing a lot of Jerry Anderson models, but he was doing different takes on it. So not only had he done the red one, he went and did a Captain Black version. So I thought, I'll have a go at doing that. And every time we go to Stafford, somebody points out that there's an SPC for sale. Go and get it. So I usually do. Andy Bourne was the last one to trip me up. So I thought, well, let's go down this myriad of colours. So I've now got a Captain Brown, although it's bronze. I like the metallic bronze. I finished it off today while I put the decals on. Thanks to Andy for saying he got some decals if he's listening. I've got some I'd already made, and then I did a Captain Blue as well.
I like this one. I like this.
Yeah, blue's nice.
That's the Atlantic Blue mark from I-Coat that we've used in the past.
Yeah.
So I did them. We've also got we've now got a Batmobile official breakers yard. So you might just be able to see down there. There's 10 Batmobile bodies, 10 Batmobile chassis. Not all of them have got. I've not got all the parts for all of them. It's a work in progress. We'll come to that a little bit later.
Parts now.
I've got the. This is where your parts have gone, lads. To be perfectly honest with you, mate, I've got a compartment of Batmobile parts. So
no, I was asking if you're collecting Batmobile parts now.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. There's the most difficult parts, obviously, if you know your Batmobile, are the screen.
Yeah.
Robin always goes missing because he's loose in the Batmobile. The horns that sit either side of the screen, and the chassis. An example of there's a chassis that I took out, and the two forks off the front end are just snapped inside the body. I won't go into 3D printing right at this moment, but we are looking at something. We'll come to that later. So
I've been not mixing the bodies up on them Batmobiles.
No, well, I mean, it's light for light, really. There's not all bodies will fit all chassis. It's just, I mean, you might have a good chassis, and the body's broke, so you can use the interior in another chassis or in another body. But yeah, we've got a mix and match now. So if anybody wants to donate broken, well, not necessarily broken parts, but parts that we can keep in our stock, I'm quite happy to do some business on behalf of the DMC for people that are short of Batmobile parts. As I say, can't do your windscreen, can't do your Robins. Robins we'll be working on. I'll come to that in a bit, but we'll be looking at trying to make some of his own parts. So that was that. Batmobiles. Yeah. So next on the agenda. Right. We had our general. We had a get together recently of people that went to Dagfield's auction house. I'm sorry, I'll pause there. I'll just dip into the chat because I don't want it to jump. I don't want to miss people in the chat. Brian saying, a lot calmer today, thankfully. Oh, that's good news, Brian.
Yeah.
Good.
Well done, Brian.
David's joined us. David Yeats. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, David.
David, even David, give me a hand in the camera. There you go.
English doesn't. JMO saying English doesn't translate to SWAD. It's absolutely true. English doesn't translate to SWAD, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, which is quite what he's saying. I'm in South Derbyshire. We kind of play middleman between the north and the south, but even I can't understand some of the stuff that's going on between some of these boys. Pete, I'm going to sleep. Good night, Godfather, from Emilka. Oh, right, okay. Brian saying, good evening, Mick, Jamie. Blah, blah, blah. Good evening. Basic Brian saying hello to everybody. I'm just in from work about 20 minutes ago. Good stuff, Brian. Hope the fishing went well. Connor doing a lot better today. Connor's doing a lot better today. Hi, Brian. Work at 8 p.m. on a Saturday. That's harsh. It is. It depends what your job is, I suppose. Right. So moving on. We went to Dagfield's auction site. We try to get there 3-4 times a year, boys. Is that fair enough? Yeah. It's not. Sometimes after these visits that we go on are not just to visit that site. It's just so we can spread the word and have a good meet up and have a coffee and breakfast and enjoy each other's company, which is what we did. I'll just get instead of me waffling all the time. What was your take on it this time round, Martin? What was your view of it?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit. It was like which we were saying that it was it seemed to be a bit out of season. It was a bit flat. It was nice that it wasn't busy, that you could walk around without having to push and shove people out of the way, because it is quite narrow alleyways and things, and the actual rooms that you go in, the sellers' corners, as you say, they aren't very big. So that was a good side of it, but I don't know, it just seemed to be a bit flat this time around. There certainly wasn't a lot of die cast suitable for us restorers. If you were a collector, possibly yes, there was some die cast for collectors, but I'm not into buying new box stuff, mint stuff, you know. So in that respect, I've got a couple of things, but nothing to write home about. I did better when I was at down in Swad in a charity shop, to be honest with you. Yeah, I got myself a big. Well, it wasn't a Tonka, was it, Paul?
No,
it was, some brand of
a Tonka brand,
very similar to a Tonka. Yeah, and that was a big crane truck, and I saw it in the window, and I thought that's going to be expensive, and it turned out it was only a tenner. So you know, I left the guy with one arm, you know, and
so the bit of context behind that is, whenever we go out, usually it's local to me and Martin. Martin will come up to mine the night before. We'll go out for a curry, have a meal, blah blah blah, swap a few items between us, and in the afternoon on the first day we'll go and grab a bite to eat down in town, and in the evening get a curry. But we went to a sweet shop because I wanted to get Werner some Kali. It's a roundabout story, this is. But at the end, we went into this sweet shop, and it's expanded to selling vinyl records, Lego, Dinky and Corgi cars and stuff like that. And as Martin says, in the windscreen was this big F-off truck, like, you know. And he says, does that say £10 or £100? I said, I know. He says, well, let's go in. And I said, well, I want to go in there anyway. So we did. He could have bloody shut the shop up by the time we'd left because we'd pretty much brought everything that was in there.
Yeah. It was quite funny actually with like two kids walking around the town centre. I'm dragging his tongue toy behind me. Paul's got his record case.
Well, that was another record case.
It's like a couple of...
I think, to be fair, I think we spent more money on this Wednesday than we did on the Thursday. We went to Dagfields.
Yeah.
Well, I brought some vinyl.
Yeah.
But
it was good with Dagfields.
Yeah, I'm always.
They got a nice.
Go on, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. They got a nice. It is my slot anyway. You did ask the question. Don't spill
Throw
that.
me a bottle.
It's nice to get together with lads and have a chat, and we sit down and have something to eat and coffee, and that is nice to. It's all right talking like we are on. It's all right when we're talking like this, but it's better when it's face to face, you know. So we always had a bit of fun there, and they do nice pies. There's a nice pie shop there. They do nice pork pies. All different flavours, really
if
nice.
You actually get to eat it yourself,
yeah.
It doesn't mean passed on to your other half, or I don't know.
End up in the dog,
or the dog,
or end up in the dog. Yeah.
In the dog. Yeah. So enjoyed it.
Yeah, so it makes my day when Martin comes up, and fortunately, I'm looking forward to. Luke's coming down to visit next weekend. I've got a full-on week because I'm going to also see War of the Worlds on Tuesday, the Jeff Wayne live concert in Sheffield. I can't wait.
That'd be good.
It's a dad and daughter, just me and my daughter.
They do the
tripod and flames.
They do the light flame.
I'm buzzing about that.
It's in video.
Yeah, I'll try. I don't know if there's some kind. I wouldn't imagine there's any limit on it. Who's going to stop you? I suppose. We'll see.
Right.
When we get to anyway, let me just check the chat. Good news about Connor. Ian saying thanks, Ian. Hi lads. Jerry's here. Good evening, Jerry. How are you, mate? Good to see you.
All right, Jerry. How are we doing, buddy?
JMO saying need to get down for a ruby. You do. The curry is stunning. And we'll have a second opinion. I also need to get a guest book. Your pie's in the pub. Yes, it was. But apparently Luke offered it to his other half. Didn't realise his other half was the dog, because the dog ended up with it at the end of the day. So a bit harsh that was. And she nicked his glass as well. We'll never forgive her for that.
Wow.
So there you go. So Dagfields, coming up. What have we got coming up? We have got the TV on the DMC side of things. We've got the TV or film event coming up. I'm in the right month this time. Yeah. Last time I thought it was. Yes, I am. Yeah, yes, April. Yes. We're doing TV or film event this month. So if you've never joined us before, it's not you're not going to get £1,000 for the first best entry. It's just all a bit of fun. A before and after picture of you having restored a TV or film vehicle, and then we put them all together into one big video in a gallery, which half the time I miss half the pictures out and have to have 2 or 3 attempts of it, but we get there eventually. And we do an event every month. So if you're new to the DMC, come and join the Facebook group. We do an event every month. I've recently restarted the September. I know it's only April, but in September we do a Paint It Blue event for charity. It goes to the Alzheimer's Society. I've reconstituted the page. I'll put a link out soon. So if you do that, all you've got to do is get any vehicle, paint it blue, and you'll be entered into our gallery. But the idea is to raise funds for the Alzheimer's Society. It goes straight to them. We don't have to deal with any of the money. Last time we raised over £430, I think it was.
Yeah, that was Good. It's increasing every year, isn't it? It's increasing every year.
I can't thank people for their generosity enough, not just for the donations between each other, but to charity. A little bit of work for charity. So that's cracking as well. Dagfields. What did I get from? Okay. So what I got from Dagfields was a couple of Batmobiles. Because why not? A couple of Batmobiles. I collect these Commando. I'm not going to call them comics. They're more like magazines and little stories. I collect them. So I've got a bunch of them. A White Snake album that was after Love Hunter. Got that. So I had we went there, and I said to the lads, like, I'm a bit disappointed that the bookshop was closed. There's this massive bookshop. When we got there, it was closed, and so was the album store and places like that. And it says don't open on a Thursday. I thought, well, we've been on a Thursday. I'm sure we'd been on a Thursday before, and they were open. Anyway, they opened up in the afternoon, apart from the record store. But I managed to pick the album up I was after, and some of the magazines from some of the other stores that were there. So you don't have to rely on one store. That's the best thing about Dagfields. You don't have to rely on one store being open, because there's plenty of others to walk around, and you might just fall lucky getting other stuff. So happy with that. Donations. I thought we'd touch on donations. Has anybody had any? Only because I want to show off a little bit, but that's besides the point. Has anybody had donations this week? Apart from, I know Martin does his monthly donations. Luke said you'd had something. Luke?
Yeah, I haven't got them here, after you say, but I've had some off Martin. I've had one off Martin. Well, a few off Martin, but one in particular was Holmes Wrecker. He gave me when we met up here. Well, you actually bought it from there, Martin, didn't you? And then gifted it me.
Yeah,
Lovely model,
complete.
It really is in good condition. I had that. He gave me a box of cards as well, so some nice ones in there. I've had some bits off Andy Bourne, and obviously the screen as well. I had off Kev, which I've mentioned. So yeah, that's what I've had. I spent more in the bakery than I did on diecast when we met up with Dad. and then choked on the pie on the way home.
And parted with a $5.
And then the poor pie ended up in the dog who was gutted.
Result.
Dear.
Lads, have you had anything from subscribers or anything this month? No. Oh, it's all very.
I don't normally get anything lately.
Okay. We'll have to send you something.
I had some from Mike and
Mike Williams.
Who was the other guy? But anyway, Lothar contacted me that he would like to have some of the stuff he's seen in the video, and he offered me some other stuff, so that might work out. I know, Martin, you got something from Lothar.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. We were chatting by email, and he sent me some stuff over, which I showed last month, and I sent him a box over last week before last. I was getting a bit worried it wasn't getting there, and I was getting a bit panicky, but it arrived, and he was happy with it, so that's good.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. And you got a donation in the box when you get it next week from your box. You'll have the
159. Yeah.
What is it? Alpha.
159. Thank you.
We're thinking of you.
Thank you. I will do video when I get the package. I will do video. Yes, can't wait. Yeah.
Just to encourage people, we do try and encourage donations between people, swapses, deals, whatever. Don't bring the DMC down in it. But if you want to swap parts with somebody, if you're looking for something, put something on the on our Facebook channel. If you're looking for something, I know I'm sure it was Colin Turner put up about the Space 1999 command module section.
My
I didn't want to upset him by saying the only time I've ever seen one of them was going for 80 quid on eBay, and that's just that little section on its own. You can 3D print them. People are selling them for 20 quid.
I
did one. Me and Marty were talking about this, and I've said it earlier before. I hate the fact that people are buying models just to destroy them. Well, not destroy them, take them apart and sell them as parts. It kind of defeats the object to me. I'd rather see somebody buy one, restore it, but that's the nature of the beast at the minute, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
What can you do about it? But it's hard. Well, it's hard to get a working model now because people are just snapping them up on an automated price as well. It's hard work. It's hard to get the stuff you want. But fortunately, most of us have got what we need now. But yeah, so go to the Facebook group, and if you're after anything, post it up there. And if anybody can help you out, I'm sure they will do. Was you going to say something, Mark?
Yeah, I was going to say I've just been watching Paul Restora's video this morning about what he's collected over the year. He normally puts a yearly one up, doesn't he? What is around his markets and that. And he touched on a good point. He was saying that he noticed that just recently, that probably Laz will back me up on this, but just recently, there's a lot of guys over there who are buying in bulk from England, the Matchbox and the Corgi toys, the die cast, and selling them on the markets over there. And he said there's been an increase of stuff that they can buy, that he can buy there, and it's because people are importing it in and selling it on, which I thought was an interesting point, because there is a lot obviously going that way, which doesn't matter really. It's all more the merrier. The more people get involved in collecting and doing it, it's good that we share everything, because it's good that it gets around in Europe as well as other parts of the world.
I mean,
it's good. At one
I've
time,
said before, I'm always blown away with the amount of kind donations, whether it be models or people donating towards our licensing costs and cause. It's amazing our community is. Okay, let's pop into the chat. Pimp My Diecast, Batman, come on, you get your dinner. Oh dear me, bad pun time.
There we go.
Kev, I've already got my Paint It Blue in work. Is that this year, Kev, or next year?
Kev's always in. He's 6 long years in front of everybody else.
It's all for charity, mate. Well done, gents. It is all for charity. Yeah. I'm proud of what we do. JMO, I'm going commando. I don't want to even picture that. I've already put my entry in work. Commando JMO, face purple, wide eyes. I'm still traumatized by your face ache post about crutchless knickers a few months ago. Too much information. Brian had a lovely box of cards from Dave Coates, lots of Matchbox and Budgies, and a few Corgis and Dinkies. Good on you, Brian. JMO, only ever donations I got were off Ian or off Jerry. Any donations is a grateful donation. Ian, glad you're getting some fresh donations, Brian. JMO, sounds like me, Pete. Brian, cheers, Ian. I was ridiculously excited about 12 cars off my list. Yeah, Brian's looking for this particular list of cars. The command module went for 32 quid, including postage, needed restoring. Yeah. Eva, good night, everyone. Good night to your mum and your nephew.
Good night. You always look out.
Good night, mum and nephew.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night, Eva. On eBay today, posted the link for anyone that needed it. I saw the Shadow, JMO. Fortunately, I've got the three. I've got 2 Shadow mobiles here, and Brian's got one for me on holding. So I just want the 3 to complete a diorama top scenario. Night Eva, Pete, thank you. Kev said it's this year's entry. Of course it is. We believe you, Kev. He's probably done about 3 painted blues on the trot.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
already done
yeah.
3 years in advance. Bless him.
Yeah.
Donations. So,
PJ, just go back to the donations as well. I missed one out, lads. I'm sorry. I got the White Manta GCE off you, lads, didn't I? And the Mark 1 Escort. So thanks for them, mate.
Can't believe he hasn't mentioned the blue toilet roll. Anyway,
Oh, yeah. And the blue toilet roll, PJ.
It's too late now. It shouldn't have to be a forced thank you. Donations. Well, firstly, thank you to Martin. To Martin and Luke. Luke first. That is just gorgeous.
That's gorgeous, yeah.
From my boy there. He knows a lot about BGTs, Capri's, Escorts, and BGTs. Because Batmobiles aren't real as much as I wish they were. But well done, you. Thank you, mate.
All right, mate.
Martin has boosted my back in. I've recreated with Martin's help. I must admit, he is Mr. Generosity to me. He sent me a graphic equalizer for a stereo system I was building some years ago, which is now all together. And Martin came up to stay, and he brought a bunch of vinyl, including Led Zepp, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath. The neighbours absolutely shat themselves when I found out where the bass and subwoofer wasn't switched on. Switched that on. Wow. So I was listening to Led Zepp too, a whole lot of love. And the albums that Martin brought me, I've been playing them back to back. It's fantastic. So thank you to Martin for the things that he brought up. It's much appreciated, buddy. I had a friend called Vince, who I'm going to try and encourage to come on one week and do an interview with us. We've covered Airfix models. We've covered diecast. I'd like to, at some point, if anybody's got any issues, please let me know. The Warhammer side of things, that miniature, those miniatures, get Vince, who works in the Warhammer shop opposite to where I live. But the reason I mentioned Vince was, if you're into your plastic kits, he said, would you be interested in these plastic kits? And the Thunderbird kits. Don't know if you can make that out, but that's Gordon from Thunderbird 5 in Japanese. I may, Martin. I-M-A-I. Yeah, I
may. Yeah.
And then he brought 2 bigger ones. So Thunderbird 4.
That's nice.
I checked these out with Moz last night. We're talking about it. And
Excuse me a minute, gentlemen.
Fab 1. So I don't think you'll see this, but thanks to you, buddy. I won't be passing them on. They will be when we do another plastic kit challenge. That's what I'll be doing. Donations. Thanks to everybody who's donated to anybody on behalf of all of us. It helps the world go around at the DMC. Pete, thank you. Kev, this is...
on my donations. Well, yeah, I'm going to say on my donations, I forgot to mention that Luke has sent me his Dodge Charger that he did. But I was going to say I'm going to show that on my end of month, so I'll show it then.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll wait for Luke to get back. Jim. Sorry, Jim. Apologies. Do you ever not restore a model, and why would you choose not to do it? Thinking rarity rather than a crap model. Good question. I'm going to think that one through. I know what you're asking, Martin. I'll let you first.
Yeah. Yeah, what if it was a rarity, and it wasn't in too bad a state, then I would probably leave it alone. I mean, I've got a few here that I've got which are not particularly rare, but they are old, and the paintwork on them is not fantastic. It could be faded, a few chips on it, but it's not worth stripping down and restoring because it's nice as it is as a display piece. And you get ones like that, whether it be if it's a really, really rare one, then obviously you could put new tires on it or something like that and just clean it up with a bit of soap and water, tidy it up a little bit. Yeah. I don't go in for touching up chips if it's chipped. Well, people touch them up with paint. It never looks right. You just might as well left it alone. So yeah, I would leave them if I get something which is quite rare, quite old, and it's not in too bad a condition. Then I would leave it alone. Yeah, definitely.
Laz, about you? What's your take on it?
Sorry, I've been eating an apple. Yeah,
You
the
ignorant
problem
pig.
is, you see, the problem is,
You come on here.
I do like, even when I see a car in a fairly good condition, I can see it restored, and sometimes I really think, shall I do this? Shall I not do this? But because it doesn't look perfect, I want to do it. If you know what I mean. So
yeah.
I hardly leave any untouched if I want to do it, even if it's in a fairly good condition, because I want to make it nice, make it look new, restore the gloss. I don't like touching up because as Martin said, it never looks perfect.
Yeah, I've just noticed something that Ian had put in the chat that's just come up. I'll mention Jerry first. Jeff said, "Hey, the Batmobile is real." Well, it is. Yes, I know it is. I've paid to have a picture taken with. Oh, you jammy bastard!
It's always somebody.
Also, Justin Bieber brought his dad a copy of the Dark Knight Batmobile. I've seen him driving it around.
Wow, there you go.
That's just showing off, isn't it? You know what I mean? Buy your dad a. You don't buy. I mean, if I brought it, I'd never buy it for my dad. Never, not in a million years. I'm having it. I'm keeping it. But Ian's saying it all depends if you're collecting, and I think this is a good point, for an investment or for your own personal pleasure. I think if you collect, a collector is different from a restorer. I think that there is a definite, split between the two.
Yeah.
Not my take as a restorer, not professional restorer. If you can't improve on it, don't do it. If you can't get it, I mean, the likes of Martin will get his models as close to original as possible in most cases, unless he's doing something freaky for one of our builds. But yeah, if you can't improve on it, don't bother. If you can improve on it and make it look as good as it should be, why the hell not? Have a go at it. Have a crack. That's what we're all about.
I like doing the half and I like doing the half and halves.
Yeah,
I think if you get something which has got really, really funky hand painted job on it, and you think, you know what, that's that gaudy and that horrible, you want to leave it. So I started doing half and half, strip half of it and leave the good half, and paint the other half to be the exact same, and it should be. And it works.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Luke's just popped off for a sec, but I'll ask him. I'll ask what Jim was asking. Luke, do you ever not restore them? I think you've actually done this. Now I think, come to think about it, do you ever not restore a model, and why would you choose not to do it? Thinking rarity rather than a crap model.
No,
Have you never had a model and you put it straight on the shelf without touching it? Basically,
only the one that I give you, the Batmobile.
Yeah.
I tend to buy stuff that I'm going to restore because
Yeah.
I don't. How can I put it? Although it sounds stupid. Although when you do die cast, you become a collector anyway. But I'm not a collector, if that makes any sense. I like to restore them.
Yeah.
And then the stuff I've got,
Yeah.
there's a few up on the shelf. The rest go into boxes, and it's a shame, really, because they're sitting there, and nobody gets to see them. And I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but there is some nice ones that I've done, and I really like them, and they should be on display. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about this. I think we've had this question before. What would you do with your collection if you decided to pack it all in tomorrow? What would you do with your collection? And there's you could either donate them to a school or a library, or Conkers, where we go to see some of the music shows. It's like an environmental place, and they've got a museum section, so you could donate to something like that. But it'd be interesting to see if your work's appreciated after you've.
I did sell a few on eBay.
I'm not saying pushing up daisies, but if you move on to do something else, what do you do with them?
I sold a few on eBay and I regretted it. And I don't think I'd sell the ones we've restored now. I don't think.
No, it's like you say, Luke. You become a collector, even though you don't.
Yeah.
Even though you aren't a collector. I mean, you do get if you buy job lots, you do tend to get some stuff in there that people have thrown in a job lot or not necessarily know what they've got. I mean, I've turned out quite a few things all the years I've been doing it, and there's been some quite, I wouldn't say exceptionally rare, but ones that you don't come up very often, and I tend to, if I see that and I think to myself, well, do I want to restore this one, or should I just leave it as is for its value as it is? You know what I mean? And put it on a shelf as that, because it sometimes you don't want to just restore something that doesn't really need restoring. It's okay. It's not in bad condition since it's like 80 years old or something like that. But I'm like you, Luke. I mean, I will go out purposely to buy something to restore. And I won't buy stuff which doesn't need restoring. I mean, otherwise you're going to get swamped with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not being contrary to what you're saying there, Mark, but you have had, out of the four of us, the donations that you've had is incredible. Where I've had this from a subscriber and put it straight on my cabinet, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, fantastic donations from everybody. I mean, Luke, you got me that charger. I forgot to mention it. It's in there, but I'm going to show that on my end of month.
No worries, Martin. No worries, mate.
I
thought I'd give you that back because you donated me that in the first place. So now it's done, and it's just sitting in that box. I thought, why not? I'll give it you back.
It's like a big episode of
It looked nice in the voice.
Yeah, you got to do that, Mark. Right through the box.
Look nice in the voice. Oh no, here we go.
It was the same.
Well, I will say, boys. I will say to the lads in the chat that I did threaten Paul, because I'm not a great Batmobile fan. I'm not knocking the Batmobile as a model. It's great. And I did say to him that I'm going to get one and I'm going to put it in a vice and I'm going to crush it into a pail.
Go down well at all.
Yeah. Live on camera.
They were threatened of legal proceedings. And I'm not even Bruce Wayne, but there was and then I thought, how many Jags can I get together in a short space of time? Petrol bomb them, but that's beside the point.
I can see a bit of a vendetta going on here.
I have to have a word with Kev and see if we could do a dual smash up the Jag session. So back into the chat. thanks for sticking with us, folks, and contributing. It's always appreciated. It makes it half of this worth doing. So, Ian, as Ian was saying, it all depends on if you're collecting for an investment or for your own personal pleasure. JMO. People say, why is it JMO? Because there's two PJs. I'm PJ, Paul Jones, and I named JMO because he was Paul James. So it got a little bit too close for comfort, so it tells us apart. So I'm PJ and he's JMO. Pimp My Diecast, JMO. Depends on the model and how I feel. If something extremely rare, I'd leave alone. But if unboxed and tatty, anything is fair game to me. Good shout, brother. Jerry. If it's just in need of paint, I usually leave it. If it's broken and needs parts to be complete, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Devil of the Deep Blue Sea, that one is, though. It depends on.
Yeah.
Depends on what you're prepared to
Depends
pay
how
out.
rare it is.
That's the catch with that. With most of us, what are you prepared to pay out to? What's your limit that you're prepared to pay out to restore a model? Because usually, if it's a lot of money, you've already paid a lot of money for the model in the first place. If it's one that you're really after.
Yeah, but it depends how badly you want it. That's where the collector side. That's where the collecting comes in. If you're a avid collector, and that's one that you want in your collection, then you're going to be prepared to pay for the price what it is, and either to get it restored or restore it yourself. So you're going to pay that extra because you want that in your wagon, on your shelf.
Or the Fab one. I think if they need the bits of the usual bits, you're looking at about 40 quid. Plus whatever you paid for the model.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you factor in your bit of paint. You're well over sort of get into towards 80 quid.
What I didn't do, Luke, and I should have done is,
well,
and I will do it before next time we do this, is count how many parts are on the Batmobile, which parts you're likely to have to buy, and what the cost involved are. But you're looking.
I think eBay is being very, very expensive lately.
Yeah, you're looking.
Everything's gone there.
You're looking at £5 each for Batman and Robin. The missiles that nobody's got, you've got to buy them or you've got to make them. Another £5.
If you remember I'm sorry, but PJ, go ahead.
I've got you, lads. I'll come back to you. The aerial, again, unless you can make it, another £5. So you've already spent between 20 to 30 quid on spare parts, logos for the side of the door, and postage on top of that. You could end up spending more on spare parts than you did on buying the model in the first place.
Yeah.
Go on, lads. Sorry.
I just wanted to say that if you remember that convertible I've done on the channel with the two figures, I forgot the car. It's a Corgi Toys. I think it's the.
Yeah, is that the Impala? Yeah, was it the Impala or something? Yeah.
I had that car in a job lot, which made itself free really because I sold the other cars, but I did buy the windscreen unit with the side doors, the door windows, and the two figures. And what else I did buy for that? I think it was the two figures and the window unit and the tires. Yes, I think I paid about 12 quid just for these two things.
I suppose the answer is that if you can restore one to next to excellent condition or as good as, and it works out cheaper than buying one in excellent condition, that's the only real benefit, I guess.
Yeah, but then you get into that depends if you're going to keep it for yourself or sell it on, because people don't really necessarily. If you look on eBay, for instance, as just an example, that you look at restored vehicles on there, they don't go for as much because people think, oh no, it's been restored, and they'll pick fault with it, whatever it is, and they say, I don't know, I want to pay all that for it, blah blah blah. but they're easy pickings for us as restorers because I'll buy them because whoever's bought it in the first place and installed it has bought new windscreen, they bought tyres for it, they bought the accessories for it. So I'll get it, strip it down for them parts alone, you know. Even some of the Agastinis and the Atlas dinkies and corgis, I'll have if they're going cheap. I'll have them for the parts because if you get a D'Agostini or one of them, what they did a rerun of the dinkies and that, you get one of them, you can pick one up for $5 or £6.
They're quite cheap.
I'd have that for the windy unit, tires.
You know,
a
I
lot,
could-
you know.
You've got to bear in mind
There's
also
always-
that you're not. Some people that do restorations are not don't do a broad church of vehicles. Like our mate Shane Omyard, he does Batmobiles. He does Batmobile. He'll branch out occasionally, but he's done a bulk of Batmobiles over the last since we've known him, Mark, 2 years, something like that.
Yeah.
So he concentrates on that a lot as almost like a business and resells them.
Mm.
But you've got to invest in the parts.
Yeah, I think
again.
that with Shane, I think with Shane, it's a case of he does that. That funds his hobby. Doing the Batmobiles funds his hobby because he does a lot of spot on vehicles and he does a lot of other stuff, and he's got a good customer base.
I'm not. I'm not going to blow.
Yeah.
I'm going to embarrass him again, and I'm not going to. And it's just blowing smoke up his butt. But if Luke turned out a dozen of them Batmobiles like he did the last one with the stripe, world's your oyster, mate. I ain't blowing smoke. I'd buy one. And
Yeah,
that's
I don't
me.
think
And
they'd
knowing you,
sell,
I'd buy one.
PJ. I don't think they'd sell.
Nuh-uh. An original Batmobile done in TV.
Yeah, the only
colours.
thing. Yeah,
Shane's selling
Yeah,
them.
I don't know.
the only thing is the only competition you'll have is the new Corgi one they brought out, isn't it?
And they ain't doing the stripes. They ain't doing the stripes.
No.
We had this. Sorry, I'm going off on a bit of a
Sorry,
rant, like, but we had the conversation about what would your ultimate Batmobile be if it was a die-cast model, and I said to you, clear windscreen, stripes, logos on the wheel hubs.
Oh, yeah.
As though all you've got to do is go onto YouTube, watch a clip of the 1966 Batmobile coming out the cave light. That's the Batmobile you want.
Yeah.
That's the original. Not blue windscreens, not silver wheels. There's logos. Yours has been the closest so far, mate.
That one I done, the screen lets it down something stupid. I should have sourced something else. I should have just stopped, moved on to someone else, and then gone back to it.
I'm going to give you when you come up. I'm going to give you a clear screen to work with. When you leave here, you will go back with a Batmobile with a clear windscreen and as many spare parts as I've got to work with.
That Batmobile's for Andy. That's so.
Yeah.
I think he'd be happy with it as is, to be honest.
And so I'm not speaking for Andy, but so he should be because it's a cracker. It's a cracker, mate. I mean, the thing that's letting us down is not necessarily the work that's restoring it. It's the parts that we've got to work with, like the chassis where they're breaking left, right, and center because they're so brittle. Sorry, lads. Go on, mate.
Yeah, evening, Les. Moz 6510. He's in, and I just want to say.
So he is.
I just want to say that Jerry put that the price of the parts in one thing is one thing, but to get it posted from the UK is a minimum of 30 quid. I make a lot of my own parts and get a donor model for parts. Yes, I do the same. You see, I when I get my stuff from the UK, that cost me 40 quid, but I can go up to, I mean, it depends how many kilograms or how many boxes or what size of the boxes I get. So it's not for a small, I mean, I'm going to get 100 cars now, and it's going to be one box, what Martin is giving to the guys tomorrow, I use a delivery company. So I don't use the post because it's really expensive. The post is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Plus the because this company is sorting out the tax, the customs as well, and 40 quid you can go up to, I think, 100 kgs. So that's really good.
You've also got to bear in mind, lads, the budget. What budget have people got to work with? Is if you haven't got a big budget, you're scuffed. So that's where we as a community will come in. We're not. I'm not saying we're a charity, but we will help people out, knowing people's circumstances. But if we're not going to go and we're not encouraging a big restorer to come and nick all our parts. That doesn't help anybody. We're trying to encourage people to restore stuff. And the guys are brilliant. The guys are brilliant in the group.
It's nice to have. It's nice to have.
I wanted the other fab one. I wanted another. Well, wanted one, and within a week, I had two sitting on my bench, just through reaching out on the DMC. Yeah.
I'm just gonna if you don't mind, jump back into the chat. So the last comment I think I got to was if Jay was saying if it's just in need of paint, I usually leave it. If it's broken and needs parts, that's what sparked the conversation. Good one, Jerry. To be complete, I'll do it. Brian, I'm doing the restoring course. I can't afford and don't have the space to actually restore a real car. Well, apparently, our mate Luke apparently can do now. He's got a bloody van on the go to actually restore a real car. I've done about 10 cars over the years. Ian, Luke, you can do what both I have done and Mick gets some clear stacking 143 scale box. This is about space and storing. You can go to Temu and I think Mick's invested quite a bit of money into getting boxes off Temu.
Yeah, seen them. These models look nice. Yeah, they do look nice.
Brian, I'd love to get a Batmobile. We'll work on that for you, son. Russ, Brian, Corgi Model Club. Absolutely, Russ. It's saying Corgi Model Club have reissued the Batmobile. And I think it's going for about £39.
Yeah.
So, again, just regurgitating previous conversations, how much would you spend on the parts to get one smoke up the ass time as good as Luke did?
Might be cheaper to buy a new Corgi models one.
Exactly. Yeah.
And relock it, get a better finish on the paint.
Do you mind? I'm going to ask you this. You can say, I don't want to reveal it. That's entirely up to you, Luke. But what kind of budget do you think it took to get that to where you got it to, including paint and labour and time?
The paint's not that dear for me because I buy it in bulk anyway, but I only use a little bit. That Batmobile, I'm trying to think, it was missing the Robin, the glass. I needed tyres. The suspension plate. Yeah, that was definitely over £30.
Yeah.
Andy donated me the car, so that didn't cost me anything. And then it was done over 2 days. Probably total build time was probably about 8 hours.
So I'm thinking you can add a tenner. You can add a tenner to that for your build time and the paints combined, if you like.
Yeah.
So that's 40 quid. If you'd have had to buy that model off eBay and Andy wasn't as good as he is, you're looking at 20 to 25 quid to get a scrapper. You're looking at 65 quid before you started.
And you probably it wouldn't even sell for that, I don't think, if you wanted to sell it.
I think again, I'm not trying to shove this down your throat, but I think people would pay a price. Mind you, I think the only thing that would shoot you down is Jada. Sorry, I'll just reach up. Oh, So that is the Jada model. I showed you this last night, Luke.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing I've got to the TV series. So bat logos on the hubs, all the striping, clear windscreen. To
It's
me,
nice. It's nice that, but it lacks pedigree, doesn't it?
yeah, it's not the 66.
Yeah.
Well,
It
it
lacks
is, but it's
pedigree.
not from 66.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. But that's when I say that's my ultimate Batmobile model. That's what I've been looking at. Back in the chat. We're ignoring the chat. So Russ saying, Brian, Corgi Model Club have reissued the Batmobile. Yes, they have. And there's talk about Thunderbirds soon. That's as different from the other.
Yeah, they're going to reissue that car transporter, the Curio Cosa, as well, aren't they?
There's a lot of old man going to be spending a lot of money. So Jerry said the price of the parts is one thing, but to get it posted from the UK is a minimum of 30 quid. I make a lot of my own parts or get a donor model. Yeah, as Martin agreed. Brian, yes,
definitely. That's why I send. That's why I help the Aussies out by sending.
Yeah.
Like Michael from Shane. When anybody else that factor like that, they buy off eBay in England, send it to me, and I wait until I collect it all up, and then when I get to, I think the small parcel is to Australia. As long as it's under 2K, it can go for about 35 quid. I can send it, and they get a good amount in there. But the spot-ons are the only problem because they're so heavy. You know, Shane wasn't getting as many castings in his 2K box as Michael would, because the spot-ons are very heavy. You got that spot-on Rover that's got to weigh. It got to weigh at least 4 dinkies. You know, it's a hefty old model.
It's surprising how quick that weight builds up, but you don't realise.
Oh, yeah. I've been as close to packing. I've been close to getting stuff. I'm sending one to Montana in America shortly, and I've had that box open, closed, open, took one out, put one back in, changed it, swapped it for a lot, just to try and keep with the weight. And then you put your packaging on top of that as well. You're packing, and you know, hats off to you, Jerry. You did a damn good job of packing them tonkers, I tell you. You need to get a job. You need to get a job packing. That was superb. Superb.
I know Laz is. I'm glad Laz is online, but we had a conversation with Martin and his wife Verna. We love Verna. Was away at Martin's holiday home. Caravan. It's a caravan. And he said, it's a good job she's not here. I said, why's that? He says, I can't move in the house. I said, what do you mean? She's got all Laz's boxes here waiting to be delivered, and collected. And he showed us a picture, and it was like everywhere. You could not move in the house because of Laz's parcels, So between them, you know, hats off between them that they come to an agreement, and that's what it's all about.
It was good. It was good fun. It was good fun to actually get. Once I managed to get it home without having to lose control of the car because it was well overweight, got it all home and got it in the front room. And my neighbour helped me get it all in off out of the car. He said, "Flipping heck," he said, and the room was full. But admittedly, a lot of the boxes weren't full. There were part trays and there were part boxes. And at the time I'd sort of put them, literally tipped them in from one to another to fill the boxes up. Then I got rid of all the trash boxes and then went through them. And I give Lad a video call and went through them. And then I started packing them. It was quite interesting actually, sort of packing them. And I think it took me about 3 days altogether to get them all packed and boxed. 15 boxes, wasn't it, lads? 15 boxes, wasn't it?
14
15
boxes,
boxes, wasn't it?
Boxes.
250
boxes, yeah.
kilo it was.
Yeah.
But the thing
Yeah.
is, what we've done is we've built up a trust over the years that one will know who the other guy is, that he's not going to get stung, you know. So I know that Martin and Laz would do this between them and sort it out without any issues. Laz, you wanted to say something? Sorry.
Yes, I just want to say, first of all, to Martin, that you know those puzzles, you know, them old wooden puzzles. We kept
Yeah,
them all.
yeah,
I've done
yeah.
England. I'm in the UK. I've done Australia, I think, and another one. Some of Europe as well. Europe has small pieces missing, but I kept them because they're really nice. And I want to say to Jerry that I might have a Mighty Hunter from Dinky. I will have a look tomorrow because he said I need a transformer for the Mighty Hunter Dinky. So I might, if I have it, I can send it to Martin, and I don't know if Martin can send it.
If there's
Or I
something,
can-
Laz, bear in
I
mind, if
could
there's
do that.
something that you're desperately short of, we're going to the NEC Toy Collectors Fair next weekend. Have I got it right? Next weekend, or is it the weekend?
Yeah,
after?
next weekend. Yeah,
Next weekend.
Yeah, next Sunday.
So-
Yeah. Oh no! Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. I'll have an email long as your arm.
Get me this, get me that, get me this, get me that. Yeah.
Yes, PJ. What I want to say is actually that's what I was thinking with my mom. That we used to go to Budapest to that market. I used to go and sell there, but
We're not selling your mum.
Sorry.
We're not selling your mum.
No. But I used to go to sell on that market. But I was actually saying to my mom that it might be a good idea to go once or twice a year to that market just to look for parts, because I ordered some stuff from Steve Flowers, and for example, the little doors for the Lomas ambulance. As soon as I get hold of the door, the hinge broke off, so I can't use that anymore.
And he was posting the pictures of himself in Greece in his swimming trunks the other week as well. So that's what you're paying for. I'm just saying.
So I'll
Makes
have a look tomorrow.
better, doesn't it? If
I have that Mighty Hunter, and if Jerry wants to contact me, I might be able to send it to Martin or send it to him straight away.
Well, there's a world of way.
Which one is it, Laz? Is it the army one or the red
I
one
have
or
the
yellow
army
one? Yeah, the army one.
Yeah.
Right, just jump into the chat. Good evening to Moz, our mate. You notice I did say Moz there. No, I didn't. Look, how are you, mate? It's good to see you. Play-ups. Hot Wheels Elite. Russ says Hot Wheels Elite R1795 did a 143 Batmobile which had stripes, etc.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Hot Wheels did do one.
Keep
Yeah,
my eye out. I'll do a thank you for that, Russ. I'll keep my eye out for that. That might be one that I haven't.
Yeah, Hot Wheels did do some big scale vehicles.
What I did do was I brought 40 Batmobiles on cards from Hot Wheels, because like every week they're just changing the colour, like a pink one, a bronze one, a brown one, same model, but it become pointless. But 143 scale, no, not come across that. So yeah, I'll keep my eye out for that. Be nice to go to a collector's fair with something in mind, because the last, I don't know about the Luke and Martin, but when I first went there and met Martin, I was trying to grab anything that I could restore. So you come back with 2 carrier bags full of that weigh a ton, and over the years it's got less and less and less, because you go for specifics now. Me being a Batmobile / Jerry Anderson fan, you go for, or things like, I mean, I'm a bit of a sci-fi buff as well, so I've got 3 or 4 of the Dinky Enterprises tucked away as well. But you're now going looking for
You want the
spare
Klingon
parts
ship,
rather
then,
than
not the Klingon.
replacement or new projects.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of us do now. I mean, we always spend most of the time under the tables, looking at all the junk. Like you say, even if you can pick up like the 3 for a tenner, you're looking when you're going through the box at 3 for a tenner, you're looking that I could do with the wheels off that, or I could do with that's got a good window unit, or if you got a Cortina Mark 1 which has got both doors on it, you're on a winner. You know, and the seat backs, and you're always thinking, yeah. And if it's 3 for a tenner, you can say, well, I've got the seat backs off that, can use them. I've got the window unit off that, you know. Yeah.
We've opened some eyes, because I think even when we talk to, it is quite embarrassing at times when we walk around these stores when you've got Martin there with you. But I'm not going to bring up that conversation again. But we've opened the eyes of some of the store holders there to the fact that there are a group of us looking for restoration projects, because a lot of them are going there with mainly new stuff or box stuff, you know, that's no good to us. But all of a sudden, if you ask the question, they'll drag something out, like Mark says, from under the table. Like, I've got these. and they'll say, well, you can have, I don't know, 5 for a quid, or right, okay, we're laughing, you know, because we know what they're worth and what we can make out of them. Right? So it's worth asking the question if you ever go to a collector's fair. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, people talk about the NEC with the granddaddy of it all, but it'd be interesting to see what they actually have there that we consider to be useful to us. Right. Where did we get to? Mick, Timu make a fortune from me. Mick's brought a bunch of boxes recently. Jerry, I need a transformer for the mighty Antor Dinky. Get a repro from Mr.
Flowers. You'll struggle, Jerry, for that,
get
mate.
a repro from Mr. Flowers.
You'll struggle with that.
Canadian. I'll make my own first.
Yeah.
Good luck, brother.
Yeah, you're better off.
That's why I said
I'll tell you what, Jerry, it might be an idea. Look at the railway. Go into the railways, the trains. I think your scale you're gonna. I think it's the O scale, maybe, if I think correctly. If you look on them, they've got some transformers in there, a lot cheaper than Flowers. Yeah, and they are obviously they're 3D printed, because to get an original, it's like trying to get an eagle. You know, they're like rock and horse poo.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, they're very hard to get hold of.
Must be out there then if they're 3D printing them.
Yeah. I mean, you can get the railway guys. It's not exactly the same one was on the back of the original, but it's near enough, if you know what I mean. Yeah. The propeller on the other one is not so bad to get. You can get a resin of one of that, because I had a resin copy on mine. But the transformer seems to be very hard to get, and you'll pay, like say, if you're going to buy a repo of Steve Flowers, you might as well have a look at the railway, because they do a lot of stuff at O scale, which will go nicely for a 143. So have a look at that, Jay, man.
We can't do castings, so we haven't got the. You know, if you're looking for the engine off the Eagle, we can't do that. But we are looking at, as a group, we are looking at producing a certain amount of 3D parts. Just skipping onto this for a few seconds or a couple of minutes, we are looking at producing some 3D parts. And thanks to Moz, who gave me the idea to class them as aftermarket parts to get round. You've got to look at making some changes. We've changed the colour. Some aftermarket parts. Thanks to Luke and Martin for their incredible generosity.
Can I just interrupt you just 1 second, Paul? I just want to show Jerry this. This is a 3D printed. Yeah. Hang on, I just lost it. Second. Just give me 2 seconds. It's on. It's on here. It's on here.
Carry on, brother.
All right. No, it's all right. It's on here. It's on here. Come on. I'm an idiot. I had it. It came right. Here it is. Here it is. Right. I'll put it up to see if you can see that. If I can get it right. There might be a bit of glare on it.
Oh, that's
Is it too glaring?
Oh, dear, no.
You just kind of coming into view. Yeah, you can see it's a generator of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a generator. What will fit on the back of the hand car, and it's £5 free postage.
And where's that from, Mark?
It's a 3D printed all immersed transform 143 scale. Sorry, yeah, it is 143 scale, and it's coming from where are we? Get down the bottom. Down the bottom, the seller. It's called 3D printed corner. That's the name of the seller. 3D printed corner.
Right. So...
Yeah. Yeah, it's a 3D print. 3D print.
Okay.
Yeah. 3D printed corner. 3D printing corner. Sorry.
Jerry says I've got an RC boat propeller in aluminium for my mighty hunter.
That's nice, an aluminium. Yeah.
And he also said, don't bother with that, Les. It will be easier for me to make one. I used to make a real Transformers at one time. So he will make it himself. I can see the chat now, by the way.
Good stuff. We're dabbling. With the DMC. We're dabbling with 3D printing and scanning. I don't know whether 3 of us just had a mental block, but we decided to, 3 of us, Luke, Martin, myself, decided to invest in a 3D scanner, which is coming at some point next week from Germany. So the idea is that we can scan some of the parts and recreate them with our 3D printers that we've got. Both Luke and myself have got the same 3D printers. I'm hoping to work fairly closely with Luke, not sharing the same room when you come down. That's just too closely. He's probably. I'm going to get a message after this. Can't make it anymore. Sorry. Yeah.
He's trying to talk me into bed here.
So I want to get back into the 3. I'm hoping to get some help and advice and just some tips and hints from Luke if I'm doing something obviously wrong, so that we can start printing parts. I'm not saying mass print, but at least get something up and running. And Luke, I'm just going to say that again, it's not an ass blowing smoke scenario, but there's several people in the chat will be interested in a Luke restored Batmobile. So don't think that that's not something that you can't do to raise some finances for yourself.
Well, we know.
Jim's
saying on the sideline coming up.
Could be. So we touched on Jerry and the Transformer. Jim is saying, to be honest, I would sooner get a restored model from Luke than a new one. Moz is saying, I agree, Jim. Brian, that's what I mean, Jim. If Luke did Batmobiles, I'd buy one too. So that's 3 you've sold in the space of 3 comments.
Right? Get busy now.
I think
get your finger out, lad.
Look, you need the biggest.
Yeah, my head's going a bit, lad. I'm still fitting in.
It'd be heavy
in that room. Jerry said, like the Matchbox SO sign Martin sent me, I'm making 8 copies from it because I did a bunch of petrol pumps to go with them.
Cool.
Moz is saying aye to all that said aye to me. welcome, mate. It's good to see you, buddy. Big supporter of our channel. Much appreciated, is Moz. Kev, I'm hoping to go to the Kempton Park Toy Fair next Sunday. Show us post us some pictures, Kev, what you
Nice.
get.
Yeah.
If you get anything. Jerry, don't go to that bother, Laz. It will be easy for me to make one. I used to make the real Transformers at one time. Okay. Moz,
Okay.
if you've seen one with Batmobile, you've seen them all. You cheeky cow, get out of here right now. Exit stage left. Jerry,
the same as our air fix.
yeah, well, they're not. That's not proper, is it? Really? Well, that's just started the war now. We've gone to war.
Just jigsaws with glue.
Die-cast and plastic models have just gone to war over the Batmobile. Jerry said, "I've got an RC boat propeller in aluminium for my mighty Antar." Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And
Yeah.
he's saying, Laz, I've worked on Transformers that weighed up to 100 metric tons. Wow. That's like Thunderbird type size model kits, isn't it? You know what I mean? JMO, I'll have a Batmobile from Luke if he does it in deep. I'm not. I can't force myself.
You want to
go
down
down
there.
with hot
No,
rods,
I'm not
but-
saying. I can't do it.
Get it up. Well, I can't read it.
Laz, can you read JMO's last comment? Because I can't.
Yeah, I'll have a Batmobile from Luke if he does it in a deep purple candy with hot rod sparkle.
I'll do it.
He's banned.
Anything for J-Mo.
Do it.
He's kicked out the group.
I want a topless picture of him now in return.
Oh my God!
Oh no. Family channels have gone downhill.
Jim saying the Luke fanboys unit. You got a fan club now.
Oh,
You got a fan club.
There you go.
Cherry's
Brian
got cherry
wants a
cheeks
badge.
now. Look, he's gone for it.
you know. My head won't fit in the camera in a minute.
I've worked with. I'm not even going to go there. Brian said, "I want a badge." He wants a badge. Brian wants a badge. I don't know what that's
Badge?
about, but Brian wants a badge.
What, a Luke topless
Yes.
badge.
Is that yeah? We'll have to come up with a.
I thought you were
DMC
doing badges, PJ, anyway.
We talked about it, didn't we? We talked about doing some badges, some DMC badges. You know. Well, apparently now the Luke.
Oh, we got a DMC caravan now.
Boys Unite badge.
DMC camper bus, mate.
Yeah, we are. If anybody
Get
wants to
some logo.
donate, if anybody wants to donate a camper van that will fit about 8 people, we'd be interested. And Luke's prepared to restore it.
It's the Virgin Conversion Unit. That's what it's going to be called.
We're just driving up and down the UK looking for people's drives that we can park it on and share their Wi-Fi and electric. Fan club badge. We'll look into. We did look into the fan club badge. We'll do something. Christ, I can't believe where we're going with this. You know, each time I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'll call Martin. I'll say, I've got a bit of a panic and I don't know what we're going to talk about this week. And time has just ran away with us again. So a lot of this is thanks to
I said it.
the people in the chat that for joining us. It makes my day.
Well, it's just a relaxed chat, isn't it, really, with the boys, isn't it? And involving everybody else, and it's a bit more regulated than it is on a Friday night.
Yeah, Friday nights. That's a different animal. Let me just balance that. Right, so firstly, let me bring this up before we go any further. And let's just do that my thanks, our thanks, a special shout out goes to this month's benefactors who help support the DMC by donating between £2 or £5, or in some cases more, through PayPal to aid in supporting our running costs. This is for the licensing of the software that we use, our graphics program, everything that's included in bringing this all together. So some bloke called PJ, our friends Ian Ully, Laz, Luke, Martin, my friends, Tony, bless him, Lee, who's not on tonight, Brian, who's with us, John, I think, is in the chat, Moz, who's in the chat, Fraser, who has difficulty getting into the chat, and Andy, who's not here tonight. But my thanks, our thanks, go to all of those guys for donating between £2, £5, or even more to keep us up and running. It has kept this chat going, this format going, and so much more. As I say,
and buying the whiskey for you.
God, I wish it could. No, nobody can donate that much money. My thanks, additional thanks, go to, as I've said before, I'm going to reiterate because it's worth the shout out to Martin and Luke. Between the three of us, we've invested in a 3D scanner that's coming. We'll come back to everybody in the chat about that next time, because by the time we do the next episode, it will have been delivered. Luke will have been down here. We'll have had a chat about it and see what we can set up. But the idea is that we want to be able to scan some of our own parts, whether up to 143 scale.
Oh, car parts.
Car parts.
Yeah.
or 1-to-1 scale if you want to buy your own van, apparently. And try and help people out as much as we can. So that's a project that's going on in the background. I'll keep you informed, or will keep you informed about that. It's not just me; it's the three of us that have invested in it. If it works and you want to invest in it with us, give us a shout out. I've already had a fourth offer. I've already said to, let's just make sure it works first before we take anybody else on board. And also a thanks to those that have asked to lend us some models to scan. So Moz, thanks to Moz, who's going to send me or offered to send us a couple of Airfix parts, pilots, that kind of thing that they get asked for regularly. Things like Robin from the Batmobile, we're going to see if we can do that. And I'd also like to invite Vince from Warhammer to lend us a model to see if we can scan that. That'll be the kind of test range of models that we want to be able to scan. And if it all works, then we'll create a list and a library of parts. And we may have to invest in a second scanner. It depends how it takes off. We'll see. That's that.
It can't be any worse than the stuff we're buying. Put it that way.
I mean, I feel sorry for the guys that have been. There's some horror stories. I mean, Laz has got some horror stories from the stuff that he's had from Steve Flowers. The guys in Australia have ordered stuff from Steve Flowers. He's living it up on a beach, and
yeah, well, you can't. You have to be careful, PJ, because the guy's a businessman, and he's doing business. You have to be careful, mate. You know, we are live.
Yeah, but I can only report back what's been reported to me.
I know, mate. But just be careful, mate. Just be careful, son.
Just had a look at the cost to buy an enamel pin badge lapel size. 200 quid for 100. Just had a look at the cost to buy in enamel pin badges. Oh, so if you were to order some enamel badges, 200 quid for 100. We will look at actually making them. The 90, I think they're 90 mil ones, the quite sizable ones. But the cost of the how do I put it? If you there's different qualities of stamp maker, you know, some of them are plastic and some of them are steel, so depends on what you buy. So there you go. I had prepared a bit of a quiz, bit of a shock to everybody. Martin is looking in at doing a quiz where he's going to take photographs of sections of vehicles, and it's going to be a what's this section of vehicle from? So it could be a Thunderbird, Matchbox, Corgi, Dinky, you name it. Martin's looking at doing that in the near future. So to fill, I was going to do 20 questions, but I realised it's now 22:10. So we'll do 10 questions.
Yeah.
And this is if you've done our quizzes before, people seem to, for whatever reason, like doing these quizzes. We've got a music-based quiz based on cars, travel, that kind of thing. Give yourself a point for everything you get right. It's only a bit of fun. There's no prize at the end of the day. We'll ask the boys if they don't know, they'll just put their hands up and say we don't know. There's Jerry and Russ, I think, are on the leaderboard for most questions asked correctly. So we'll see how this goes. So, question 1.
Yes.
Love you, brother. Which song? This is it. This falls into your era. Which song by the Beach Boys is often considered the ultimate car song? Question 1.
Oh yeah. Surfing
in the USA.
American Graffiti comes to mind. American Graffiti comes to mind. Oh,
Good vibration.
What you got there, lads?
Good vibration.
Good vibrations. Oh, okay.
I've lost it. I don't know.
Surfing USA. Says play apps.
Russ is saying Surfing USA.
Yeah.
Surfing USA.
I'm gonna give it.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah. Because I've got that American Graffiti in my tune where he's driving that juice coupe round and it's playing in the background. He said he hates it.
Oh, I'm surprised, Jerry and Russ. Ooh.
They're not fighting again, are they?
Well. Mr. James has got it right. So, which song? But now this is based on asking AI, and it coming back with answers. But it's fun. So, when Daddy took the T-bird away, as J-Mo.
I
only know that song from when I was younger. Bombing around in my dad's Chevy Impala, and that's all he'd play in it.
You know what, Luke? Yeah. You ain't going to do well in this quiz. I can tell you now.
I'm not going to go in. I'm going to make a brew.
Just pass.
I'm going to make one and all. Crap at music, I'll tell you. Music's not my fault.
You got a bit of acid techno on there.
It's Brian.
A bit of what?
Acid techno.
Yeah,
is that a new way of stripping models, is it?
Yeah.
Get a bit of acid techno on.
If Brian's in a chat, he should get out right.
Brian got it right.
He likes his music.
Russ, Surfing USA. Right band, wrong song, Russ. Same with Jerry. Right band, wrong song. No, this is not this is just the opinion of this AI, by the way. Daddy took the T-bird away, so JMO got it right. Brian got it right. Ian got it right. Pete got it right. Loads of laugh. Luke, 2 sugars, says JMO. Question 2. Which famous car theme song? Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the name of the car is in the title. Which famous car theme song was written and performed by? You're going to struggle. I can tell now, Luke. You're going to struggle with this one as well.
Yeah, mate.
Which car theme song was written and performed by Chuck? Do you even know who Chuck Berry is?
Wasn't he the ice cream one?
Right, no, that's not
No.
going to help, is it, really? Which famous car theme song, written and performed by Chuck Berry in 1950, was written in 1958? So I'll rephrase that. Which famous car theme song was written and performed by Chuck Berry in 1958? Does anybody know any
no
Chuck
clue, mate.
Berry songs? If you know one, you'll probably get it
Yeah,
right.
My
But it's not
Dingling.
My Dingling either. Jim, Route 66. First sensible answer. Martin, have you got anything
No,
by
sir.
Chuck Berry?
No, Google it in a minute.
No, nothing really. Only from Back to the Future.
Righto. Brian
I'm not good at
Jessica
music, I tell you.
Jessica Top Gear. Right,
Riding
oh,
along in my
good
automobile.
call, Russ. Run along my automobile.
Oh, that song. Yeah, that song.
Believe it or not, the answer to the question, I can see we're going to struggle with this one, is Johnny Be Good.
I know what it is. Wheels on the bus.
Johnny Be Good. So if you can remember your old, who said Back to the Future? You said. You said.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
right, yeah.
mate. I said Back to the Future.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
When he gets on stage and sings
I'll
that
give you.
song,
I'll
doesn't
give
he?
you.
It
I'll give
starts
you
disappearing.
0.25%
I won't,
I'll have half.
I won't even give it him because he's just been singing Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round. That's what he thought it was.
That was a remake. That was a remake. Yeah.
So, Jamie, Ride Along My Automobile. Ian, Ride Along My Automobile. Pete, Ride Along My Automobile. In theory, the answer, boys, I can't. Whether it's right or wrong is Johnny Be Good, or also acceptable Maybelline, but it's based on a car theme apparently. Question 3, and please don't take me to court over this. It's just a bit of fun.
I'm suing you, mate. I'll tell you. I'll say his wheels on a bus.
Question 3: what car company, not brand or whatever, what car company is featured in the song Little Juice Coupe by the Beach Boys? Which car company?
How's the song go?
No, I can't do that.
What?
No, I don't do karaoke.
With car company, this is a complete guess. I'll go for
Renault.
Ford.
Renault?
Yeah, why not?
Did you say fucking Renault?
In America.
Renault.
Right,
In
okay.
America.
Oh, in America. Oh,
Well,
sorry.
it's America.
I missed that bit.
America. Renault.
I'll go for Chrysler then.
It's American.
Time you feel. Is it time you filled your glass up? And
I don't-
don't you need another drink?
I'll go for Chrysler.
Renault.
Oh, fuck.
You know what? I love doing these just because you're involved and have got no idea. I think it's brilliant. Sorry. No particular fucking hellfire. Or did I just swear out loud? I do apologise. JMO, Ford, Ian, Ford, Martin said Ford, Jerry, Chevrolet, Brian, Ford, Russ, Ford, Jim, Reliant. Martin's pissed again, says JMO, apparently. I'm stuck. Kevin just said I'm stumped on all of these tonight. Songs before my time. Well, just go for Renault, Kev. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they say AI
You
smart
go
says
for
Pete.
Lada.
The answer, of course, is Ford. It's the Ford.
Yeah, then.
Mate. Word, I love doing these. Question 4. This is a bit closer to your. When were you born, Luke? What year?
80.
Oh no, this one's going to suck well for
disgusting.
you. Which British singer released a song titled Cars.
Oh,
Oh shit!
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
I know the song, but I don't know the.
yeah. I'm with you on this one, lads.
yeah.
I'm with you. It's in my head, but I don't know. I don't know.
Songs.
Ultravox, was it Ultravox or something?
Laz, you've got it. You've got it. You just need the name.
Yeah, can't think of it.
Yeah.
I know the song.
Gary
Yeah.
Newman.
Who?
I'm thinking.
Say again, Laz.
Gary Newman says play-ups. Gary Newman.
We have got.
Yeah. Gary
Are you
Newman,
saying
yeah,
that
yeah.
after the
They all
event,
know.
Mr. Dare? Because
I didn't know.
No. I'm agreeing that Gary Newman rings a bell. I said
you did say
Ultravox,
Ultravox,
but
yeah.
I don't know any
Yeah.
members. Yeah, I don't know the members of Ultravox. So I
What?
can't say the singer.
Oh, Major. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I love this. It makes the fortnight worth waiting for. Jim, Gary Newman, Kev. Sorry, let me just scroll back. I think I may have missed him.
Everybody said Gary Newman.
Get Marty's pissed again. Yes, it's worth repeating. And he only does tea and toast. I'm stumped. Chevy. Jamo saying, do all 20. This is fun. Just realised my stream is about 60 seconds beyond real time. So, Russ, Gary Newman, Pete, Gary Newman, Playups, 1979. Jim, Gary Newman, Kev, Gary Newman. I think we know where this is going. Jamie, Gary Newman. There's no mention of Ultravox or Midura in there anywhere. Jerry, Gary Newman. Bry, Gary Newman. That was the 8.
You're all wrong. It was Cliff Richards.
It was. Did you dad tell you about
Jerry
Cliff
said,
Richards?
look. Jerry said, look, I've got t-shirts
Of course, it's Gary Newman. Christ, so funny that was. Oh, hang on, the question master's got no whiskey left. What 1984 hit by Prince references a car in the title and lyrics? I'll repeat that.
What
1984 hit by Prince
Pink Cadillac.
references.
Is it not Pink Cadillac?
Did you say Pink Cadillac?
Corvette, isn't it?
That's your answer now. That's it. You sealed in. What 1984 hit by Prince references a car in the title and lyrics?
Corvette. Red Corvette, wasn't it?
No, I don't know.
A little.
You know what, Luke? Fucking proud of you. You've dragged yourself out of the gutter. You you've actually found the ladder now. You've actually got your hands on it, out of the mud and mire.
I don't like Prince. That's why I don't know.
Is it true about him having his ribs removed at the bottom?
What?
Yeah.
Dirty lucky bugger.
I did hear that, Luke. Yeah.
If I had the money, I'd have them removed myself.
Oh, crying out loud. There's nowhere to start here. Pete, Little Red Corvette. Little Red Corvette says Bry. Little Red Corvette says J-Mo. Jerry, Little Red Corvette. Ian, Corvette. Jim, Little Corvette. It is. Pretty Little Red Corvette, obviously.
Yeah, we did do that one, wasn't
it? I'm so pleased that Luke
I've got one.
One right.
Got one right.
He's moved up in the.
Luke is using Google. I can see the reflection in his glasses.
If you know what, lads, if he gets this next one right, we know he's going to have cheated.
It wasn't me. Pete said that.
Right, so I'm expecting Martin to get this right, you two to get it wrong because you're just not old enough. And I suspect I know we'll get it right in the chat. Right, so we've already done 5. Question, Christ, JMO saying do 20. Beer all night. Question 6. What 1960s hit by Jan and Dean is known for its car culture theme and surfing lifestyle? I'd expect our American friends and Canadian friends to get this, but
I would say surfing USA, or not surfing USA. California.
oh,
No, lost it. Don't know.
you
California
see what you've
surfing
got
or
to bear in mind
California.
is not getting Jan and Dean mixed up with the Beach Boys.
That's California
No,
Dreaming.
no.
Yeah,
California
yeah,
Dreaming.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, California Dreaming. something
California
like that.
Dreaming.
California Dreaming. And that's Papas and Mamas.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I'll share a point with you, lads, if you win.
That's Papas and Mamas.
Anybody? Oh, this is. Oh, so we've got Bry, Surf City. We've got Russ, California Dreaming. Already, our resident DJ, apparently Laz, has already pointed out that California Dreaming is. Oh, good. Well, we've got a right answer. California Dreaming, Mamas for Poppers. By the way, Surf City, Beach Boys. Pete saying I have absolutely no Scooby. JMO, Surf City. We've got 2 right answers so far. Jim and Jerry, Dead Man's Curve by John and Dean.
Never heard of it.
See how young and pretty I am. I wasn't even born then, says Pete. So it was, yeah. There was it was almost like an accident that happened, and they wrote a song about it, and it was called Dead Man's Curve. And there's the film based. If you ever get the chance, it's also a cracking movie to watch about John and Dean. It'd be interesting to see if anybody gets this right, depending on whatever your age is. Which song by The Clash, British punk band at the time, back in the day, features the line, "Driving in my car, I've got a radio"?
Jaguar.
Which song by The Clash features the line, "Driving in my car, I've got a radio"? Brand new. Sorry, I didn't give the song away.
Is it Jaguar, is it, or something like that?
No.
No.
I don't think anybody's going to get it. It was a bit left field, this one was. It's a good question, but I just don't think anybody will get it. Because people now have time to Google it and still haven't put the answer in. Don't know, says Russ. Okay. We'll move on from this one. It's a bit of a toughie, this one is. It's a song called Brand New Cadillac by The Clash. I hadn't heard Joe saying my Skoda is itchy. Mick saying Bowie, you Rhapsody. Just to one more.
No,
okay.
we're going down that road.
This question 8 might fall into the same category. What song by REM? REM?
Oh, yeah, REM, yeah.
No, REM. Everybody thinks they know REM until they're asked this question. What song by REM references driving fast in a rented car? It's a one-word answer.
Go on,
There you go.
Music, mate.
Martin's answer is I'm rubbish with music. So no, it's not. That's not the song title.
I say crap. Absolutely rubbish.
Luke's saying, "Why am I wasting my time here? I've got better things to do."
Yeah, the cogs are turning, but there's no steam out.
The pilot light's off. It's not turned on anymore.
Computer says no.
Computer says no. It's a song called Electrolyte.
What was on the tip of
Everybody,
the tongue?
I knew that, yeah.
everybody knew that, didn't they?
It was on the tip of the tongue.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
He's saying no. I'm not surprised. Neither I didn't know it either. I'm gonna skip the next one. I had heard the answer to this one. I didn't know the answer to this one. So, Drive from JMO. We're going to skip question 10. Does anybody? Well, I'll ask it. If anybody knows it, fair dues. Like, oh no, sorry. This I've missed one that should everybody should be able to get. I think, apart from Luke.
Oh, thanks.
Which
You're
group
right.
performed the song "Drive My Car"? Are you listening, Martin? Which is featured on the Rubber Soul
Yes.
album.
10.5 me.
Oh,
I think I'm blue.
famous albums, Rubber Soul. Brian will get
No.
this. I'm no doubt if he's still there. So, which group performed the song "Drive My Car," which is featured on the Rubber Soul album? I'll tell you, it's from the 60s, if that helps. Absolutely not, obviously.
No.
What you got, lads? Go on. Rover.
Yeah.
Luke, do you want to stab in the dark? It's not ABBA, by the way.
Well, we Rubber Soul. We'll go with Crocs then.
Crocs, right? Yeah, okay. Jesus Christ.
Beatles, everybody say.
Pass.
You can tell who's the music fan amongst the four of us. JMO, Beatles. Russ, Beatles. Pete Beardsley, Beatles. Ian, Beatles. Baby, yeah, says Jerry. Jim, Beatles. Well done, boys. Of course it was the Beatles.
And we have some easy ones next week.
Look, I can't do the theme tune to Play Away and bloody what's that?
Night Rider.
I was trying to think what them bloody puppets have got, the purple, green, and yellow and red one, or
Hey,
you know, they're the costumes with the purple outfit and
Teletubbies.
Teletubbies. Yeah, we can't do Teletubbies theme tunes for you. It's just not
Go with.
good. Good comeback. I love it. Jesus. Right, so yeah, Rubber Soul, well done. Give yourself a point if you got Rubber Soul. Sorry, the Beatles. Yeah, well done, guys. We'll do 10. Give us a roundup, and then we'll close out. Let me just see if I can find a couple that are easy to do, because somebody mentioned this earlier on. Which 1973 song by Golden Earring is about a man on the run, constantly on the move in a car? You should be Mark. You should go. You know the radar.
Yeah.
Love. So, sorry.
Yeah, no radar. Like
Okay, the answer away. Not bloody. I meant to give the group.
yeah. I thought it was actually
Right.
radar. Like, I was thinking
That was
of,
my bad. Scrap that. Scrap that.
We all get a point for that.
No, you don't get a point. You didn't even bloody answer. Should stop asking these questions on the Scotch. You know what I mean? Let's find one. Which ZZ Top song features a custom hot rod and a girl? Now there are a couple, but
All of them,
this is a particular one.
I can see the music video now, and he's got the eliminator.
Yes,
Flipping heck.
and all three of them stand and point in one direction.
Yeah, and he chucks on the
Yes.
keys.
Oh, I know. Fucking.
No.
I'm sorry, swore then.
Flipping heck, Luke. That's what you're trying to say.
It slipped out.
Yeah, I've lost it. I don't know
Yeah,
the name
I
of the song.
remember.
I should have it. I've got the album.
Before we go any further, all them
video.
that said Radar Love, absolutely spot on.
Yeah, that's what I was after.
Have you got more?
No, I can't remember it. They're not the name of the tune. No. Sorry, lads.
The Sharp Dressed Man.
I've got loads of ZZ Top album, one of my favourite bands, but I can't remember the name of the song. Some kind of loving.
Let's try and give you a bit of a boost. If she was wearing
you won't.
the lady that gets out the car, she's wearing hot pants. What does that say about the rest?
Yeah.
Sherry's
I've lost
got
it,
it.
mate. No.
I think JMO's covering all bases, but it's legs. She's got legs.
Legs, that's it.
Up
Legs,
to, yeah.
Oh, that video was back in the day.
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah, I've got a lot of her albums as well. But
right, we'll round this up with the last one. There's plenty more. We could do them another day. Which 1970s novelty song by C.W. McCall, that should be enough to answer the question, became famous for its became famous. I'll ask you last.
Okay.
Became famous for its trucker lingo and CB radios. Luke's still looking absolutely blank as he did from question 1.
Say the question again.
Which 1970s novelty song by C.W. McCall became famous for its trucker lingo and CB radio?
Convoy was about to say
The
that.
Convoy.
Was you about to say it, Luke? Or have you just listened to what was
on the trip? It was once I did the question properly. Yeah, Convoy.
Oh, it's my fault. Right, I never thought about that.
And an extra question. What is the other car in that song mentioned?
What's the other car in that? What are you? I talk about a different wagon or a different vehicle altogether?
No, there is in this song, the Convoy. There is another car mentioned.
There is. It's the ambulance.
Yeah, the
E-Type
Jag.
A Jag. Yes.
E-Type Jag. E-Type Jag.
Then there's 3 because there's, in the end of the movie,
she pulls up alongside. She pulls up alongside him, doesn't she? With that Jag.
Yes.
Also in the movie, you see him in the back of a truck with an eye patch over his eyes as well, and that's also mentioned in the song. So double bonus value.
Jack holds his ass. I think, that Jack holding his ass. That's yes.
If Luke can pour the quiz, we wouldn't get them. So basically, Luke, you're brilliant at Batmobiles. You're absolutely crap at music. So we just
it's not. It's just it's out of my ear. Then what you basically.
To be honest, it wouldn't matter what areas. I listen to the songs. I like the songs, but I know nothing about the people who sing it or who's in the band. I just like the music.
On the head. The micro buzz, that was the one I was thinking about, right? When he was in the back of the if Luke can pull the quiz, Convoy 10-4. So anybody that got Convoy, obviously, or nobody did mention this, but well done, Bri. Larry Lingo and the Dipsticks. Bit of Dave Lee Travis for you there. Back in the day. Means nothing to Luke or Laz. Dave Lee Travis.
I've got 15 points. What are you talking about?
Exactly. So, bit of fun. Give yourself points. If you've got anything over 5, you're a star. You beat pretty much everybody here. And let's just round it out. I know we're running a little bit over what we usually do. Let me just close down these pages. We'll open up we'll do our version of Vision On. We ought to get somebody humming the music to Vision On to do this, but I'm going to share the screen and we will share what's been cracking off on the DMC. recently. So share. Oh, wow. What's going on there?
Endless.
Let's stop sharing and try that again. That went south pretty quickly. Window.
Yeah, marmalade for me,
You're late,
Martin.
Martin.
Yeah, marmalade for me, mate. Yeah.
What this time of night? You sure?
No, it's still not working. Stop sharing.
Bye, Brian. He's going. Night, guys.
Night, Brian. Have a good one, mate. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, not Brian.
Split this off into a different window altogether. That might make it a little bit easier. Window. Sure. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. So if you're not familiar with us, you're along for the first time. I think everybody's been here before. This is our Facebook group, the DMC, Diecast and Modelers Community. Please come and join us. We're well over 400 members now. It's just took a real boost recently. So,
hey, Jim.
We'll look at some of the stuff. The guys that have been working on some of these models, they post their work free of charge, and we like to promote them. So, Jimmy James, new Matchbox Duke Wagoneer, one had to be slammed just for fun. Nice.
Jerry,
I like that. It looks good. That looks cool. That.
Jerry's having a seizure. He smells the toast.
Really? Yeah, well, you go steady, Jerry.
Our friend John got this through the post this afternoon. Rio Lincoln Continental.
Yeah, what brand is that then? I can't. I'm not making out what brand it is.
I don't know. John, if you're in the
he's
chat,
not in the
post
chat
it
tonight.
and, let us know.
Yeah, he's not in the chat, is he, John? I ain't seen him tonight.
I think it's a diecast, Martin.
Yeah, it's diecast, but I couldn't work out what brand it was. It's not what I've noticed.
I'm only joking.
John posted again. That was the Dinky. That was the Dinky.
Yeah,
boys,
the Dinky.
Showed us.
Yeah, that was Dippy's wife.
Nice. Derek Jones.
Alfa Romeo. No. Lancia Delta.
Yeah.
How do you say Lancia in England?
Lancia.
Fucking hell.
Like God's English, you know what I mean? Not like you, Johnny Farm.
It's Lancia.
Lancia.
Well, it was Nigel. It wasn't Colin Turner. It was Nigel Bateman that was asking about the Eagle. So this container unit here, I've seen. I think JMO put something about 30 quid, but I've seen these going just that unit on its own going for 80 quid. No word of a lie.
Yeah.
I managed to get, and funny enough, I managed to go to Stafford, buy the whole thing for 40 quid. And I've managed to 3D print one as well.
Yeah.
So there are options rather than buying the whole thing. Our mate Ron Roby, Sumi Diecast, as everybody mainly knows him. Does some great work with Hot Wheels.
Nice.
I tell you what, this working horse is gorgeous. Yeah. I'm playing with the working horse.
Ian,
it is a gorgeous.
Morning, toy fans. It's episode 12. I've discussed the Diecast Daily, and he's got a BMW M1. So Ian's doing a series of images and photos.
Is that one he's restored, or did you bought that one?
Did you restore that, Ian? Let us know.
By play apps.
Take it easy, Russ. Great chat tonight. Thanks. You're more than welcome, mate. Thank you for joining us. It means the world to us.
Dankeschön. Bitteschön.
We get people coming along. PB from PB Restorations.
Oh, that's nice.
The Ford Angular from Uncle Phil's collection.
Ford Angular.
See you all Friday for a new video. So go and check out our mate Pete Button from PB's Restorations.
Yeah, he put a Bernadetta up this week. I think he put
That's nice.
There's
Dude.
words here I'm going to get wrong, but Roy Afandi, one of my Euclid collection.
yeah.
Nice.
I think that's almost like a one.
Nice,
Have you come across this before, Mark? It's taking wide up for the tipper.
Yeah,
Is
I've
it?
done one. Yeah, I've done one. It's nice. That is nice to do that.
Nice, well done. I like some of these videos, these vintage videos that people post up. Please
Yeah,
don't shout people down because they
differential
post.
money. The invention of differential's good. That.
Yeah. As I'm saying,
I like them because they're interesting. I like them. Watch them because they're interesting.
don't shout people down because they don't post pictures of their models. It's a wider church than that, as the politicians would say.